promised I was going to feature Jennifer Compton because every time she gets up on the mic, I'm delighted. And Jennifer is about to read for us. Please make her very welcome.
I don't think I've read this poem in Melbourne. I certainly didn't read it at the launch. This is the poem that won the Newcastle Poetry Prize, which is worth winning because they give you $12,000. I read this poem at a reading in Canberra to a very young audience, young students, completely different audience. I couldn't help but feel that as I was well and truly the oldest person in the room, that I'd have to find a way to catch their attention. So I told them that this poem had won $12,000. You know, perhaps they should listen to it and tell me afterwards if they thought it was worth $12,000. The quality of the attention. Now you shall know. Maria Callas sings the aria Voi lo sapete from Cavaliera Rusticana. The aeroplane is hung in the sky from a clever hook, so we seem to inhabit a thrumming stillness. But we believe we are travelling forward, a little this way and a little that way, up and then down, as if we're nosing our descent. And there is a singing in my ears. This is cleverness, recalled from history, the voice of Maria Callas and the presence of that audience, their rapt surrendering, translated into a thing of monstrous beauty as she screams exquisitely her high anguish. Or is it our commonwealth of torment? It is, anyway, almost unendurable, as human as anything is, and everyone present is part of this. She pauses. She breathes. The orchestra dawdles to intimate there is a resolution to come, and then he coughs. The man cannot contain himself a moment longer. The paroxysm erupts. He coughs. Forever, at this point, he interrupts. Whatever else he did in his life, he coughed, and is now part of the story, which I can't follow, but can tell is of dark betrayal and death, and of the tickle in his throat. But I don't know, not know so, what it might mean for lo sapete. You it will know, you will come to know. No, I am being previous. I am hung in the sky, knowing nothing of what I will come to know. Held high in the palm of technology's hand, awaiting our delivery to a runway, a sky bridge, a carousel, to our eternal mother, maybe, propping up on the pillows like a bright-eyed dolly, a holy dread. There is nowhere else to sleep this midnight except within her reach. Believe me, in this house there are no other beds in which I may sleep. She doesn't whisper stories all night in the dark, her mouth to my ear, in a language that I used to know, a shuffle of syllables, as if she can talk me back into her sad, shamefaced arms, snowballs, chunks of fat. But in the morning when we wake, she laughs and announces me as a blanket thief. A rusted coil has eased. You selfish old woman, I say. But I am an old woman also. 2 old women waking to the new day that will bring a sudden job that is the beginning of the end for her. I have imagined what I might feel dressing for my mother's funeral, and as I pinned her lily of the valley brooch to my grey lapel, I knew. I have flown in with a book in my clever hand. She loses all feeling in her left hand. I quit the house to speak to everyone at once. She is lifted into an ambulance. Something tells me she is about to throw the performance of her life, her parting shot, the last big push with everything she's got. I read that poem, she says, the one. Yes, that the one about. We are in the busy corridor of the hospital close to the grief room, and I know that she will die soon. This is the hospital where I was born. Once again she reaches for all her strength and pushes me away from her. I didn't know, she says. And that is enough. Go, the voice in my head says. Just go now. It's called As Far as Dandelion. We were after coffee. Your hand, or was it mine, on the gate to the grounds of the rededicated convent. Excuse me, he said. Then he stalled, almost at the end of his language, hands resting lightly on the handlebars. He wasn't out of breath. He was in an exalted state, as if he had taken off early and ridden hard, not looking back, just going all over until he was lost. Iranian, my best guess. Tra, he mouthed. Then again, tra, then Dandenong. As we conferred, he took a look at us, took a good look at the Australians, strange beasts, from under his eyebrows, his cheap white shirt and cheap grey stripes and cheap trainers. This is what they wear, his brother or his cousin said on Kmart. They didn't sit quite right, but for the whole day he had passed, no one had looked twice. This dull rig-up was the local colour. We were talking too much and too fast. I tried him with French, but that was useless, as we pointed towards Victoria Park Station. He shook his head as if bees were buzzing in his ears, cold sweat was stinging at his eyes. Then he caught Flinders Street Station. He'd been schooled. His cousin or his brother in the kitchen of a house in Dandenong, late into the night, over a demi-tasse of black coffee, drilling him with the pivotal words, the ones that would get him home again, or at least as far as Dandenong.